Hello everyone, I'm Saurabh Srivastava here. Today I'm going to read chapter 6 Acceleration from Darren Hardy's book, The Compound Effect. And I'm pretty excited about it because this is the chapter which puts together everything that we talked about: choices, we talked about habits, we talked about getting a visit from Big Mo, momentum, and then we talked about acceleration, influences. And now we are going to talk about acceleration, how important it is to get the acceleration, how these all things get together and accelerate ourselves. He is going to talk about the techniques that gets it. So here he talks about when I live in La Jolla, California for exercise and a test of will, I would regularly ride my bike 2 miles straight up Mount Soledad. There are few things you can do voluntarily that cause more pain and suffering than riding a bike up a steep mountain without stopping. There is a point at which you say, which you hit the wall and come face to face with your true inner character. Suddenly, all the projections and ideas you had about yourself are stripped away and you are left with the naked truth. Your mind starts inventing all sort of convenient alibis on why it's okay to stop. It is then when you are faced with one of life's greatest questions: do you push through the pain or continue on? Will you crack like a walnut or give up? So this is what about it is. When we do all this, we have formed the good habits, we have made the good choices, we have made all the things that requires for us to move on. Are we going to make that extra effort or take that extra effort to push through so that we get accelerated results? And here he talks about the story of Lance Armstrong, how he won the Tour de France by beating everyone who were better than him, but he just kept going on, giving that extra, won him the prize. When you open a gap and you this is Neil Armstrong saying, when you open a gap and your competitors don't respond, it tells you something. They are hurting, and when they are hurting, that's when you take them. Completely exhausted, struggling to breathe, and his legs and arms burning with fatigue, Lance kept pounding the pedals. Some tired, but no one could catch him. They just didn't have it in them. At the finish line, with fist pumping in the air, an unexpected contender won the stage race and ultimately the Tour de France. So that's what it is. And in this chapter, I want to talk to you about those moments of truth and how the compound effect can help you break through to a new and greater level of success faster than you imagined possible. When you are prepared, practice, studied, and consistently put in the required effort, sooner or later, you will be presented with your own moment of truth. In that moment, you will define who you are and who you are becoming. In those moments where growth and improvements live, when we either step forward or shrink back, when we climb to the top of the podium and seize the medal, or we continue to applaud sullenly from the crowd to others' victories. So this is what about, we put together the good habits. This is the time to reward. And moment of truth, there is a point in every race, and when a rider encounters his real opponent and understands that it's himself, or so that's what it is. When we realize that this is there is no competition anywhere outside, it's a competition between me and me. Can I be better than what I was just a moment before? Can I make better decisions than what I made yesterday? Can I make do things that I can do better than yesterday? So that's what it requires. Muhammad Ali, he shares about the story about Muhammad Ali, how he preserved his energy for the last fight and won it. So that's what it is. Hitting the wall isn't an obstacle; it's an opportunity. When you are doing it and you hit a wall, that's an opportunity, multiplying your results. How you multiply your results? Let's say you are doing a rep, that's what the example he has given, multiple examples he has given. If you are doing the weightlifting, in weightlifting, if you have to do 12 reps for a certain exercise, after 12, if you give 15, you multiply the results that you get. If you are running, let's say you have to run a 1 mile, you run 1.5 mile or 1.2 miles, then you multiply your results. by doing that. Take the magic penny we talked about in chapter 1, the one that doubles in value each day, showing you the result of small compounded actions. If you just double that penny one extra time per week during those same 31 days, that is 4 times he's talking about, the compounded penny would result in $171 million instead of 10 million. Again, just extra effort in 4 days and the result was many times greater. That is how the math of doing just a little bit more than expected works. So that's what it is. We have to just, let's see, one more paragraph. Viewing yourself as your toughest competitor is one of the best ways to multiply your results. Go above and beyond when you hit the wall. Another way to multiply your results is pushing past what others expect of you, doing more than enough. Beat the expectation. So here he's talking about examples of Oprah when she in September 2004 in the 19th season she invited 11 people on a stage whose family or someone said that these people need a car. She gave car to everyone else, and then all the audiences, she gave a box to them, said that there is a 12th key in there. When they opened the box, they all had a key. So they all got a car. So exceed the expectation. What is the expectation? You exceeded. And there is consistently he is giving example after example of Oprah or someone else, how these people have exceeded the expectation by just taking extra effort in there, doing something that is not required for them to do, but they did it anyway. Do the unexpected. I am a contrarian by nature. I know. Tell me what everyone else does. What's the consensus and what's popular, and I will typically do the opposite. If everyone is jigging, I am gonna jag. To me, what's popular is average. It's what's common. Common things deliver common results. The most popular restaurant is McDonald's. The most popular drink is Coca-Cola. The most popular beer is Budweiser. And the most popular wine is Frangia. Yeah, the stuff that comes in a box. Consume those popular things and you will be part of the common average pack. But that's ordinary. There's nothing wrong with ordinary. I just prefer to shoot for extraordinary. That's amazing. Amazing thought process. If you are doing the same thing again and again, and if you are doing follow the same crowd that is leading you to the average life, you have a chance to make a decision and get better. So he talks about, he sends out cards on Thanksgiving instead of Christmas, because everyone sends it Christmas. So do something extra, and then he talks about another example of his when he was doing the real estate, how he used to approach it. And then he talks about that how important it is taking an extra effort to do it. So he talks about an interview for a guy, Alex. He was invited for an interview, so everyone was given a telephonic interview, and they will invite top 3 to the office for interview. So Darren suggested to him that you go ahead and take the interview in the company itself, in the office itself, fly and do it. So he ultimately did not get the job because he did not follow through, though he was a better candidate for that. And then he talks about other examples like that. Then next chapter, do better than expected. So here he talks about an example where Invisible Children organization, non-profit organization, how they did better than expected to get the attention from Oprah, and ultimately they ended up being on Larry King Live and 232 other channels. So how doing little bit extra makes a difference. Find the line of expectation, then exceed it. Even when it comes to small stuff, or maybe especially then, whatever I think the dress standard is going to be for any event. For example, I always choose to go at least one step up. So that's what he's talking about throughout. That's what accelerates the overall, the effort that we put in, building the habits, making the choices, controlling the influences. And now it is time, inviting the big Mo, and now it is time to accelerate and putting that extra in there. So whatever you are doing, just put little bit extra in there. and that extra will make a lot of difference. So here the last last paragraph here. I challenge you to adopt those philosophies in your own life, in your daily habit, discipline, and routine. Giving a little more time, energy, and thought to your effort won't just improve your results, it will multiply them. It takes very little extra to be extraordinary. In all areas of your life, look for multiplier opportunities where you can go a little further, push yourself a little harder, last a little longer, prepare a little better, and deliver a little bit more. Where can you do better and more than expected? When can you do the totally unexpected? Find as many opportunities for wow, and the level and speed of your accomplishment will astonish you and everyone else around you. So that's what completes this chapter, and then he goes on to conclude this conclusion of this. I'll put another video for that, for concluding this chapter. So the conclusion of this book that is concluded by him. So that's what acceleration is all about. Acceleration is about putting that effort little bit extra. So even if I'm going running and I'm going to implement it, if I'm going to run, so why not just put another couple thousand steps there, and that extra will result in a lot of more results on me. And if I'm going to do something, I'm going to put my effort in there where I do a little bit extra than what is expected out of me to accelerate the overall growth. With that, I'm done today, and we'll talk to you tomorrow about concluding this book and wrapping it up, and looking forward for next book as well. So looking forward to conclude this. Talk to you tomorrow. Thank you.